This is what they do. It's what Red Bull does. It's what Max does. Seems to be this is what a lot of the Red Bull and Max fans do. I do want to say that there are, like I always say, there are a group of Max and Red Bull fans out there that are legitimately fans and can be completely objective and sometimes have biased opinions, but debate in such a way where it can be respectable. Big shout out to Mary Beanie in the super chat. If you're not first, you're last. Big shout out to R33, C33 in the super chat. On the damn podium, first and second. And Bajan right there, third on the podium. That is the podium for the Wolfpack membership right there. So big shout out. If you're not first, you're last. And big shout out to all the subscribers and the viewers checking in. Lord Chaos checking in. So let's talk about this because now it always seems Max Verstappen, short-term memory, incredible facts quest in the super chat as well as Lord Chaos. Max Verstappen fans seem to have a short-term memory, but here they are, as they always say other people are doing. They're crying. They are out here crying in the streets of Twitter and Instagram and everywhere again, but they didn't show up in the live chat too much this weekend. You notice they haven't showed up in the past few weeks, right? You do notice that, right? You notice certain channels haven't made videos in the past few weeks, really. You know, they don't know what to do with themselves. When Max is not on top, it's just bad. Galactus in the super chat, but here it is right here. Let's take a look at this. Red Bull launched a protest. Max is complaining about being brake checked or stopping aggressively. Max complains about a lot of things that he does to other drivers, and unfortunately, or not unfortunately, when he encounters a situation that might seem similar, but it's really not exact, he goes to crying. So right here, we got Red Bull fans out here. Russell is a dirty little bitch and deserves a penalty for brake checking Max. What are we talking about? Pathetic tactics. Are these people ridiculously so damn double standards, not even funny? What were you saying when this situation in this image right here happened? What were you saying when Max literally brake checked Lewis Hamilton and caused damage on the car? Matter of fact, is this another situation where when Max was told to give a position back and then he does this? What happened in the last situation just this season when Max was told to give a position back? What did he do? He used his car as a battering ram. That's what Max Verstappen did. This is what he is. This is what he does. So they are launching a protest. They launched a protest, should I say, past tense. They launched a protest. And they launched this protest as it sits right here. Big shout out to Dave's Quattro on the live chat. Miss Dino in the live chat. Big shout out to you all. And so I'm just telling you, they're out here crying. So protests lodged by Oracle Red Bull against Car 63 allegedly driving erratically under the safety car, displaying unsportsmanlike behavior. Oh my gosh. Unsportsmanlike behavior by complaining that car 1 had overtaken under the safety car conditions. Red Bull and Max are so funny. It is historically funny. It is ridiculously funny. Are you serious talking about somebody having unsportsmanlike behavior? Are you kidding me? By complaining? You do realize Max Verstappen has been complaining for 3 weeks about anything and everything he can. What are you all doing? They are so thirsty to try to get Max this win. Yo, Max has got to earn a win this season. All the talk that you all gave and all the GOAT and the king and all this other, Max has got to earn his wins this season. The cars around him finally have met a development level where they're competitive. Drivers that have been driving cars that have been having problems are starting to get them ironed out. So drivers' ability and talent is starting to be able to shine a bit through more. He has got to find a way to win. Like you all say, he can win. That's what he's got to find. But Red Bull, are you serious with this? Unsportsmanlike behavior? Your driver embodies that. Your driver embodies unsportsmanlike behavior to a T. Like he's the definition in any dictionary. If it says unsportsman, Max Verstappen's picture should be right next to that. What are we doing right now? Come on, man. Y'all got to stop this capping. So then gets into this. Let's just go down into it. Protest is rejected and not founded. You know what that means? Denied. If we can't beat them on track, can we beat them in the protest? Can we file as many protests as possible to try to get whatever we can try to get? This is Red Bull, y'all. They are ashamed. They are not ashamed of being so damn ridiculously underhanded. They're not ashamed about it. 083 in the super chat says, unsportsmanlike behavior. Wow, that's rich. It is rich. And it is crazy that they would try to do that. But let's get back into it, brother, because it's probably going to get more crazy than that. June 15, the following publication, provisional classification of the Canadian Grand Prix. All right. Filed a protest. Red Bull filed a protest against Car 63 George, entered by Mercedes Petronas. Red Bull claimed in the protest that Car 63 had breached Article 55.5, which I didn't bring that up. We could bring that up another time in the sporting regulation by braking unnecessarily and erratically behind the safety car. Okay. So technically, this is not a brake check. Technically, it's not a brake check like we saw Max do to Lewis Hamilton, right? And this is why I say this. This is why I'm going to go into, we have to kind of look at this, right? Because these crybabies, these Max Verstappen tramp baby mamas, dudes, manginas, are out here calling George Russell a little bitch and what he deserves to be. I just got to know, did you have the same energy with Max Verstappen when he did that? Did you have the same energy from Max Verstappen when he ran Lando off track? Did you have the same energy from Max Verstappen to many people, Lewis Hamilton and everybody else he's ran off track? Did you have the same energy from Max Verstappen when he used his car as a battering ram? Did you have the same energy anytime when Max did that? Were you calling him a little bitch? I just got to ask you that question. If so, hey, all is fair and it spoils the war. I got you. But if not, you got to check yourself. You need to check yourself for real. Your driver, if you support Max Verstappen, you are supporting somebody who has exemplified being unsportsmanlike. If you root for Max Verstappen, you are rooting for somebody who has shown you what it is to be disgraceful, disrespectful, and rude in the sport of Formula One. If you are in here making posts about Max Verstappen and in here going to bat for Max Verstappen, you have to understand that the driver that you are supporting is dirty. That he races dirty at times. Come on, you can't. Let's not play around with that. Let's not even try to cap on that. You have to know that. So let's just take a look. Let's just take a look at something. All right. I think we should. So if we look right here, we're going to take a look. And I'm just saying that we can see here up ahead, Max Verstappen is clearly aware. George Russell is right there. The safety car is in place. And what I see here is Max is nowhere near. Now, what do we know Max is good for? We all know that there was a rule put in place because of what Max Verstappen was doing, what he did to Lewis Hamilton, what he did to other drivers. Max is known for under safety car conditions. Max is known to try to put his car alongside of yours to the point where it's almost an overtake. Transponders register him being ahead of the driver who was technically supposed to be starting off the race after the safety car goes off the track. Max Verstappen has been known to do this to the point where this hustling tactic, it had a rule because it technically should be illegal. You're not supposed to overtake another car under the safety car. Max, this is what you do. Here's another situation like Oscar Piastri used you against yourself. Oscar knew what you were going to do going into that turn. He knew how to play you. You went and did what you did, and he used it against you. Russell knows what you do under the safety car. Russell knows that you're a hustler under the safety car. So guess what? If Russell was going to play you, if this was the situation where he was going to play you, it's not a brake check. This is him playing the game. He's playing the game on a stage that Max Verstappen has set over seasons. Everybody that races on this track should be well aware that under safety car, if Max is second and you're first, he's going to try to put himself in a position so much so that technically he's overtaking you underneath the safety car. So when it goes off, he can go. We all know this. This is what he does. This is what Max does. So now Max is mad because Russell knows this and he plays you by using you against you. Come on, man. Let's stop crying, Max. Let's stop crying about it. You set the stage for this. You set a precedent Drivers know what you do. They know what to expect from you. The only difference is some drivers bend the knee and get out of your way. And some drivers like Russell, like Oscar, probably Antonelli, probably will be soon Hadjar. They're not giving you that. They're not giving you that leeway. If you want to get away with these things, go knock on your boy Lando Norris's door. He'll let you get away whatever you want to get away with. But Russell's not having it. You had the situation in Baku and Azerbaijan, right? You tried to move over on Russell, give him a little jab. You went into the turn. Russell's like, I'm not yielding. And you got a hole in your side pod, which after that, you called him a dickhead. But let's keep moving. So Russell right now, you can tell that the distance of Russell in the safety car is very close. What is Russell supposed to do? He's trying to keep brake temp. He's trying to keep tire temp. You're all trying to do that. So let's stop playing the game. So look, Russell's right here. He's coming up on a safety car. He's trying to get heat into his tires. He's trying to get heat into the tires. Paul in the super chat says, what up, fam? Happy Monday. Smash the like, y'all. Peace and love, man. Paul, man, he stay checking in. Stay on business. Big shout out to Paul. So if we go a little further, we'll watch it out. He's going to brake, get off the safety car. Why? Because if he stays directly behind the safety car, we all know. Let's stop acting like we, even at home, have not watched the safety car. I wonder, like, why is the safety car driving that damn slow? They have to know that these drivers got to keep heat in their tires. They have to know all of the requirements or all of the conditions and variables in which these drivers need to be competitive coming off a safety car are in play. I hate when the safety car drives unnecessarily slow. I really do. And drivers don't like it either. Russell is in that situation, so he's going to back off. By the way, Max, Russell's the lead car. He sets the tone. He sets when you're going to go off. He sets the tone, not you. And you're not directly behind him. It's your job to make sure that you stay further enough behind that you can make an adjustment for whatever adjustment that Russell makes. But that's not what you were doing. And you know in your mind, that's not where you were. Max is frustrated. We all know that leading into the checkered flag, Russell clearly had 2 seconds or so on Max Verstappen. What was it? We can matter of fact, let's look at that. Let's see what the ending chart said. I mean, because those times, pretty sure. Let's see what we got for the times right here. If we look at the time, roughly, what was it? Gap to the leader, 0.2 at that point in time. Really, that's under safety car. If we go back and look at it, I think he had like 2 seconds. I think Russell was 2 seconds over Max Verstappen when it came to that. But either way it goes, let's go ahead and keep going into this FIA document, and let's go ahead and look at this video still. So right here, he's off. Yeah, Max overtook under the safety car, but guess what? They weren't even dinging you for that initially, bro. You start complaining and whining about Russell needing to do what he needs to do to be competitive, right? Why are you not where you need to be or worried about what you got to do? You do this all the time, and as soon as it happens, you complain. Listen, Russell's not going to stay behind the safety car to the point he can't get heat in his tires. He's not going to stay in a situation he can't keep heating. You were just complaining this same weekend about your brakes being cold. Why does Max complain about other things that he does to drivers in other situations that he himself, if he were in that situation, what he would likely do? Stop fucking complaining. Stop crying. This is Max Verstappen to a T. This is his fans to a T. This is what he does. Okay? So let's go further in this document, see how crybaby Red Bull got. So it says right here, complaining that the driver of car 1 had overtaken him under the safety car conditions. The parties were summoned and heard from. On behalf, Stefan Knowles, Gianpiero, driver car 1 and Max Verstappen. On behalf of Mercedes, Meadows, Chauvelin, George Russell, all right? They go in here, Red Bull claims. During the safety car deployment, 61 had braked unnecessarily along the back straight between turns 12 and 13. Was following car 63, undertook car 63, and then dropped back behind car 63 after car 63 accelerated. So, I mean, George was just doing his thing. You were going to be where you were going to be. Red Bull alleged that complaining over team radio, car 1 had overtaken him under the safety car. The driver 63 had displayed unsportsmanlike intent. Now it's intent. Driver car 1 said he was taken by surprise that car 63 suddenly braked. Well, Max, should you now probably go back when you brake check Lewis and maybe kind of revisit that? You want to revisit that situation? Maybe your thought, maybe some of the words you said, you want to kind of revisit that? Maybe it was surprising that you braked. Maybe it was a little bit kind of confusing, the information that was being relayed. You want to do that? 083 in the super chat says, I'm seriously sick of the petulant little child consistently crying. Just go away and do something else. Man, him and his tramps, I'm telling you. Him and his do boys. They all need to go do something else, because right now Max is literally showing us examples of how he contradicts himself, how he expects a double standard in the sport of Formula One, how Red Bull right now are in a situation where, we're going to have to do a bunch of protests if we're trying to stay within the driver championship. When he's still there. He is still there. We'll talk about Lando. We'll talk about Lando on another video, because Lando just might need to be some rethinking over there. But let's go back further down here. It says, Red Bull tendered telemetry showing the brake application of each car. Red Bull suggested it could be inferred from the fact that car 63 onboard showed driver looking in his mirrors before he braked, knew car 1 was immediately behind, and he braked to force car 1 to overtake. Or is it the other way around? Russell checked his mirrors, being sure before braking that he wasn't going to brake test another driver and cause damage to both cars. That's what Russell, to me, was doing. Let me check my mirrors, because I'm about to slow down because the safety car is not moving fast enough. I'm about to slow down, but I don't want to slow down and cause a collision. Max is not directly behind me. I'm braking. That's what that is. It was being considerate, for real. Red Bull suggests car 63 complained about the car overtaking him on track, maybe because he expects that Max Verstappen should be a little bit further back. Max Verstappen should be a little bit more precautious about what he's doing while everybody's under the safety car, which Max Verstappen usually is not precautious about other cars, especially the leading car, when they're under the safety car. Max Verstappen is usually trying to find an underhand tactic way to get the advantage. Why are they crying here? Why are they sitting here crying about this? This, to me, firmly shows us you cannot take what you put out. If you cannot take being joned on, don't jone on anybody else. If you cannot take being slapped up, don't slap up anybody else. If you cannot take rough play, wrestling, pushing, then do not do it for anybody else. Do not do to others what you cannot take under yourself. And this is showing us that Red Bull and Max Verstappen cannot dish what they cannot take what they dish out. Plain and simple. So Mercedes says periodic braking is commonplace at this place of the track. Braking is pretty common. Car deployment to ensure temperature is maintained in tires and brakes. On the back straight, he found himself catching the safety car. We clearly saw that in the video. He pointed to in-car video, which showed him gesticulating with his hands, hand gestures pretty much, which he said was to signal the safety car to speed up. He braked where he did for two reasons. First, to ensure he kept the gap to the safety car. Secondly, to keep temperature in his brakes and tires. He looked in his mirrors before brake to check whether car 1 was immediately behind, and only braked after he saw that car 1 was to the side. Come on now, Max. I understand, bro. I understand what's going on. You're not my bro. I understand what's going on. I understand. Conclusions: having regarded evidence, we are not satisfied to simply reporting to the team car 1 had overtaken that he engaged in unsportsmanlike conduct. Even though the protest did not allege it, we are also satisfied that by braking where and when he did, the extent he did was the car driver 63 did not engage in unsportsmanlike conduct. All right. Therefore, I love these words right here. The protest is rejected. I like it. and protest, the deposit is forfeited. I like it. I like it. Sit down, pretty much. Sit your candy ass down. Don't do what you can't take. Max Verstappen, this is a new season, bro. I told you. I told you. I told you all. I told you all. This is the season. If Max Verstappen can win a driver's championship, I am saying it. This is the most legitimate championship. This is the most legitimate championship you have. This is it right here. And what we are seeing is maybe not the almighty that a lot of people tried to sell us that he is. Maybe, like we say, all that hype and all that fluff about what he can do in pole positions and lesser cars, maybe not so much. They got beat by Mercedes this weekend. Kept them out of DRS range. Over 2 seconds gap consistently through those final laps before the safety car. Red Bull was not catching George Russell, and Antonelli damn near in a situation might have been kind of close, depending on his skill and what he gets to do. He might have been ready to catch Max Verstappen. This is where it comes down. This is what's really going to show us what you got going on. And right now, what we see and what we hear and what we're watching is a petulant child and Max Verstappen complaining about things he would have done to somebody else, situations where he would have done the same thing. Doesn't look good. We've watched Max Verstappen for seasons push people off track. We watch Max Verstappen for seasons run people wide. We watch Max for seasons dive bomb the corner to get to the apex so legitimately on paper he can be first and have the right to. We watch Max Verstappen for seasons deploy underhand tactics. We watch and listen to Max Verstappen for seasons be unsportsmanlike. He called Russell a dickhead. That ain't unsportsmanlike. You use your car as a battering ram. That ain't unsportsmanlike. You walked off the podium, didn't want to celebrate because you didn't get first place. That ain't unsportsmanlike. Listen, man, let's cut this shit. Let's cut it. It's a bad look for y'all to even try to protest that. You should have just don't try it. It's over with. You listen. I understand. You know what I did. You know what it is. I get it. I get it. You in a very competitive season, and shit don't look like you wished and like you thought and like you were used to it looking when you had the most dominant car in Formula One. Now your driver and Max Verstappen, well, he's really got to earn it. It's not a slow car. If it was a slow car, Max would never be close to getting pole position. If it was a slow car, Max would never get pole positions. If it was a slow car, Max wouldn't be close to the top 5 in and week out. It's not a slow car. What it is the other cars got faster. Other cars are now more competitive. And these drivers are starting not to give a shit about who Max Verstappen is except for Lando Norris. Now, Max Verstappen, aside from not having a number 2 driver who is a champion, which he's never had, a number 2 driver who is legitimately competitive, free to be, like McLaren is doing right now, this is the closest he's coming to. Let's see if you really about that championship shit. Let's see if you really can make more out of less. Let's see if you really in close combat can do good when it comes to wheel-to-wheel driving. Let's really see if Max Verstappen is as people and delusional fans make him out to be. And what we're seeing is not as much as you all sold him to be. When you oversell something and then we finally start peeling off the wrapper and we really see what you got, don't look so good. Y'all oversold it. You oversold it. And we all watching it. We all watching it. So, yeah, George Russell, I'm liking the energy George is bringing. George is bringing like, I don't give a damn. I like what he said. Like, I got more penalty points to play with. George Russell is about to put pressure on Max Verstappen if and when he's around to do it. In this situation, he was around. He got pole position. He did it. If Max is next to George, I told y'all when that qualifying came, I said, we're about to see something in this race. This is about to be good stuff. Hey, we got 319 or 39. What is that? 39T in the super chat. Red Bull is the only team to lodge in any protest this season. All I have been against George Russell 63 target hit. Hey, I'm telling you, they gonna fight Max Verstappen's battles and try to remove any competition they can. This is not their number 2 driver. right? They can't just tell him to move out the way. So the only way they're going to be able to do it is to launch protests. You're right. That's what they're going to try to do. Eliminate any threat with any little tactic they can, instead of just saying, you know what, Max, just go out there and get it done, bro. Just go out there, compete, show them you the boss. No, we got to remove it. That's why you've never seen a number 2 driver on the other side of the garage from Max Verstappen that is a legitimate competitor, because they can ultimately control that to a T. You can't control the other teams. You can't control the other drivers when they're on track. The limited ability you have to implement some type of swaying decision is to launch protests. And I would expect that we probably are going to see more of those. I would expect, as Max Verstappen continues through this season, and it looks like they're going to use more paper. More ink is going to get used up. More people are going to be summoned. More evidence and articles and telemetry will be acquired. And we'll see what the outcome is. But I like what George Russell's bringing. I really do. If you don't like Woody, you still got to probably like, I don't give a damn about Max and how he feels. And George Russell is, we know that people have admitted, like, George Russell's been pretty snakish sometimes. He could be a snake too. And Max Verstappen's about to get the blunt end of that. And now that you're 1 penalty point away from a race ban, you don't think George Russell is going to try to make sure and see if you can put yourself into a trap where he can close the door? You put yourself there, Max. Russell's going to close the door on that trap. And he's going to be like, aha, I got you. You're going to put yourself in that trap. Max can't help himself. He can't help himself. I'd be surprised, not saying that he can't get by without getting this race ban, because I think they want to, and they probably will do some things to keep it from happening. But Max can't help himself. He's under pressure. He's a petulant child, and he's going to do dirty things. This is who he is. Russell's just going to wait for the opportune moment where he oversteps, and Russell's going to drop that trap door on him. And he's going to let Max fall right on through it. And when he gets that race ban, Max is going to be even more pissed. Red Bull's going to be like a hive of damn hornets that just got disturbed, and they're going to start having to do whatever they can do to try to keep Max in the fold. I ain't mad at it. I'm cool with all the smoke. This is a good season so far. This is a good season. I'm telling you, this is a good damn season. I'm enjoying this season. It's crazy. There's so much going on with the rookies, so much going on with McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Alpine, the Racing Bulls. This is Williams, Haas. This is a legitimately good season. Drive to Survive for this season should be one of the best Drive to Survives until we finally have maybe a new driver's champion, which might happen this season. This season literally probably will be the best series of Drive to Survive if they do it correctly. If they bring in all the Red Bull shenanigans that they literally have done like they didn't do last time. Drive to Survive might be the most watched this coming up season than it has been in other seasons. Like, for real, if they do it right, depending on how the rest of the season plays out. We're just 10 rounds in, right? We still got 14 more, but there's a lot going on. Hey, Razor in the chat says Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, only 2 drivers that make Max Verstappen race different. Yes, and Oscar Piastri is probably going to be added to that list, bro. Oscar Piastri, I'm probably going to have to put him on that list too. Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, and Oscar Piastri is probably going to go on that list. Few more times, Oscar's got to be on that list too. I think you might agree with that. But your 2, hands down, without a doubt, you're absolutely correct about that, hands down. But I think later we're going to have to put Oscar on that list. We're definitely not putting Lando on that list for sure. So, but yes, we will see what happens. We'll be live again this week because we got some other things to talk about, some other teams and drivers to talk about. But yeah, Austria's coming up. Will he get his race ban in Austria? Don't know. But that's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to damn sure be watching it. I know you'll be watching, and you'll be watching with me as we'll be here live for quali, live for anything else that happens, and live for the race day. So with that being said, Maxine's upset. Max Verstappen crash strapping, ain't having the best time. George Russell, big shout out to you. Hey, and Kimi Antonelli, big shout out to you. Ferrari, get your stuff together. McLaren, you got some things to figure out. All right, we out. Peace.